and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, today we are discussing the fallout of Ranveer Singh's pictures. We've all heard about them, even if most of us, well, I don't think there are few who have not seen the pictures of Ranveer posting in the nude for the people, for the paper magazine. That has, of course, sparked off a whole lot of controversy on the social media after a lawyer, Vedika Chaube, filed a complaint against him and an FIR has been registered against him. In fact, Vedika said she would be joining us on the show, so we do hope that she will keep her word and come. But apart from that, we do have a very interesting panel to discuss the pros and cons and the larger picture, really, what it says, whether it's about the social, the moral the conversation that is taking place, the trolling on social media. To get a pulse on all that, I have joining me on the panel Dilip Cherian. He's an image guru, but I think most of the images you'd look after are not in the nude. I think they're all with their clothes on, Dilip. There is Reena Dhaka, fashion designer, and Wasif Ali. He is a co-founder of the Men's Welfare Trust, and I do hope Vedika will join us soon. But Dilip, your first take on the controversy: is it a storm in the teacup, another social media created topic, or is there really something very real to worry about? An FIR has been filed after all.
Sure. I think that it's an element of two things. One, it is created by the amalgam of a society which is raging between hypocrisy and hysteria. That's one. And the second thing is that it is a sign that because of this growing intolerance, people want to rage against something. And when they find something to rage against, they love to rage and outrage and get legal and all of that. So if you look at this, it's really that. I don't think that there's a way of describing this other than your wonderful phrase of it being a storm in the teacup stirred by social media. But I think that this also says a lot about the kind of society we have evolved into.
Reena, your first take on this. I saw you on a show with the lawyer. Also, since she's not here, you are also best placed to understand or rather know what her arguments are. She, of course, says that, the fact that these pictures were so freely available, she doesn't want her children to see them. She does, she says that there is a sense of censorship or sense of propriety that is outraged with these pictures doing the rounds. How would you react to that?
I would say, first of all, she has become definitely more than Ranveer Singh in this case, the PS, the conversation. She is the reason why we are all here. And clearly, to give her credit, when you will hear her out, she sounds very sincere about pursuit of this cause. In her eyes, it is what she believes is right. And how absurd it sounds to mostly all of us. And frankly, what is funnier is that it's all of us in a way defending Ranveer Singh here, but I don't see it. And I wish I was here to talk more about my work or my ideas. Instead, here I am discussing how he didn't wear any clothes and look where it got us. And that's really what it has been.
Wasif, I think you have a slightly different take over here. Are the women overreacting? I mean, there have been women who posed in the nude also. So are there different rules for men, different rules for women?
Okay. See, such kind of things like posing in nude has happened by both men and women in the past. And they have gone into legal controversies as well. But as far as social societal take is there, we do feel that when there's a woman involved, the attitude and the take is different. And when the rules for the men are there, it's different. Because here, see, Ranveer is posing in the photograph and still he's at the receiving end. Okay, so there is an outraging of modesty case filed against him. So it's really weird that how does it really fall in this case? And when women is posing nude, the entire brigade of my body, my choice comes and defends that. Yes, it's her right to do it. And if at all there is some objection from them, then they call it as objectification of women. So what we feel is that when such things happen for both men and women, it's always men who are at the receiving end of the case. I will tell you that recently when in Western world, such things came in where that when you go to the magazines or TV ads, you see a lot of semi-nudes kind of ads by the women. So they say that isn't this an objectification of women by the women themselves? Then they've coined a new term for it. They're saying that this is monetization of objectification of women now. So what I'm trying to say is that whatever happens, it's always men who are at the receiving end. So this is the differential attitude we feel is problematic for us. As far as cases are concerned, see, these are legal issues. What is obscene, what is not obscene, where the lines have to be drawn. See, we don't get into it. There's a law for the lawmakers to decide it.
Dilip, we've had, I agree that let's leave the law aside because, none of us really are the lawyers in that sense. But the fact that so much of, attention has gone to it, someone actually feels that, these kind of pictures should not be, it's for a private photo shoot. But the pictures did become public at the end of the day. And are there two rules for women, one for men, one for women?
I don't think that there should be. Yes, as far as outrage is concerned, it tends to get selective. And I agree with the view that the men become the object of ire when there is a female who is also posing in this manner, saying that this is, the typical commercialization of the human body, and that this is unnecessary, or as was said, you defend it. But what we are talking about here is a totally different category of thing. Here is an extremely well-regarded actor who's got blockbuster after blockbuster, who's experimenting with his oeuvre. He's doing something which he hasn't done before. He's expanding the realm of his fans being able to experience what he wants to express. Is that the kind of expression you want? Ask the women. I haven't met a single woman who's been outraged by this. You might want to assign any kind of emotion to them, but outrage or irritation is the last emotion that I have heard them express, unless maybe I'm talking to the wrong sex. So the only thing that I would say is that this certainly sets the bar higher for men as far as being able to sculpt their bodies goes. And in some senses, this is pressure on the man.
That's a very interesting take, really. But Reena, as someone, I was reading some messages, said that, even Pratima Bedi walked nude on the Juhu beach.
Yes.
So there are cases that are happening. Do women get away with it? Does Wasif Ali have a point that women do get away more than men over here?
See, if you see, women's bodies are actually celebrated. After all, it's not just the face, it's the body also. Whether it's in courtship or a relationship or the scent of a woman or the first attraction, it is a lot about the body.
Fodder to Wasif.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you're in the beauty world, especially where the industry is beauty, whether it's fashion or makeup, hair, and these are actors. They're like the prime examples of youth and beauty for this country. So yes, as Dilip said, they will push the edge. And this young actor, especially Ranveer, was from the beginning always subject to some kind of ridicule or criticism because of his androgynous kind of dressing. So if he took it to another step, I would think perhaps there wasn't much more to it than just that him being an actor of that space, of that genre, where he wants to create a space or a new space for himself, where he's trying to be a pathbreaker of his own type, in his industry in India. I mean, in fact, today, ironically, I saw on BBC News, if you see it on Instagram, in Spain, they have a huge big bump. And they say every woman's body is beach ready, says Spanish government's campaign. So it is really, I wouldn't even say Jaisa Desh, Vaisa Bhes. They're telling you to be like that. So the government itself is saying, everybody is beach ready. Everybody to be like Ranveer But here, of course, a photograph has not just spoken 1,000 words, it's gone on to be so serious a case that there is an offense of a category of this level lodged against a performing star. So, yeah, I would think I can only request that there would be less of this from more women like her, that they understand how this whole system works. And it's not really an offensive photograph. And it's not like your children or any one of you will get scandalized for the rest of your life, or you're scarred by seeing such a picture. And let it be about fair play, and life goes on with or without it, with a picture or without it. One day covered, one day uncovered. How does it matter?
Okay, well, we're joined by Vedika Chaube, the lady who sparked off this particular storm. So thank you, Vedika. I know you're extremely busy, but we really needed you for this conversation. So I'll let you come in and state your case. You know, what made you react and file a complaint against Ranveer? What is it about the picture that really offended you?
See, basically, I have a problem with the photograph. When I scrolled my mobile phone, I saw his pictures on my Twitter account because I'm one of the followers. So I got his pictures. And the way it was clicked, it was not in a proper manner. Such photographs, I cannot share it with my children, my mother, my sister, or even I cannot see it with my friends at a time. And so that's my problem. That is the issue what I have with the pictures.
But you see the other argument, Vedika, people say that this was, you have the option for turning it off, the remote over.
I cannot do it. I cannot do it. It's in my mobile. It's all over social media. It's all over the internet. How can I close my eyes? By closing my eyes, the sun will not go, right?
Right. No, see, you heard the other arguments also, that this is the land of the Kama Sutra. This is, are you against nudes in general, or the way this particular picture happened?
The way this particular picture was posted, the intention behind it affected me. He shared it publicly. He wanted to see his such pictures. He wanted to show his, I don't know, his body parts to women of this country, kids of this country. I don't know, but I am one of the women who I have very much issue with these pictures. I have not liked it at all.
And then you have been trolled for your reaction. So do you feel...
That's fine. That's fine. I'm completely okay with that. There are many people who are free whole day, whole night. They have only one work. They just have to say in someone against. So I have no issue.
Basim, your take, she's being trolled for something that she has done. Is there also an elite, an argument of, the kind of people who are objecting versus the kind of people who are okay with it? Is there a class argument here also?
Priya, see, about the content, that what content is acceptable, what is not acceptable. So contents like this, see, our view is that, see, we don't accept it, whether it's by men or by women. Okay. But filing a case of, say, outraging of modesty, we feel really stunned by it. Because, see, 509 is a case that can be filed only against men, and if something has been done against women. Now, such kind of, see, nude, semi-nude photographs, or in every walk of life, you walk, you can see a half-naked men and women walking around. Are they outraging the modesty of the fellow people? So this is the point I want to raise. See, 509 can only be filed against men. That's why it has been filed. So what happens if a nude or semi-nude photograph of a woman is being done? So can you file this same kind of outraging of modesty? By a man? Can it
there are other provisions. We've seen, Hussein's pictures have gone into controversy.
Yeah, but they come under, say, IPC 292, 293 because it's a publishing of those content. That is totally separate thing. So those contents are legal content.
He's doing the same thing. He's sharing it on his personal Twitter handle, Insta handle. He wants to see his pictures. He wants to make sure that everyone sees his such body, such things. I don't know. Why this mentality? Do we need to go with this mentality in our society?
No, then this is about what is obscene, what is not. See, I am totally against such kind of a content. We are totally against such kind of, but not only by Ranveer, by everyone, by man or woman. But this is an issue of what is obscene, what is not obscene. Where do you draw the line? But it surprises me that 509, how does 509 gets attracted?
Because it's obscene.
Vedika's a lawyer. Vedika, I'll let you answer in the quick break, but I'm going to come back and
see, suppose I'm
one quick break. Vasif, I'm going to take a break. Hello and welcome back to Roundtable. We are here discussing the uproar over Ranveer Singh's pictures, and we have both the lawyer who filed the complaint, and we also have someone from the Men's Welfare Trust, as well as Dilip Charan and Veena Dhaka to comment on this. Vedika, you wanted to come before Vasif comes in?
I just want to ask one thing. Suppose I'm walking on the street. I see a semi-nude woman walking around. Is she outraging the modesty of me?
Semi-woman, not
Semi-nude.
complete, not fully naked.
Suppose there is a fully naked woman also. But in this, in this photograph, see, there is a full nude and semi-nude photographs both of Ranveer. Okay.
Yeah, but
But I'm raising about semi-nude also. Semi-nude also can be an obscene content. See, where do you draw the line? Suppose I draw the line there also. That semi-nude, say a bikini, okay. Somebody is walking past me in a bikini, I feel say it's an obscene content. Suppose legally it's defined as obscene. Is she outraging the modesty of me? That is the point I want to raise.
That you have to decide. If you feel that is wrong, you have all the rights to go to the police station.
I'm saying she's not outraging her. Yeah.
Okay, let me get Dilip into this conversation also. Dilip, is it now? It's also a subjective right. There is a law. Otherwise, Vedika would not have been allowed to file a complaint. She went, within the legal framework. But there is a very subjective element to this also, isn't it, Dilip?
I think that what Vedika has done outrages my sense of balance. I have no issue with her filing a case. That's between her, the police, and whosoever is going to be the lawyer defending it. But I think that today, to say that my phone is something that outrages my modesty, meaning then what is on the phone needs to be completely blocked. You need to completely cut off access to the internet, because at the touch of a button, when you open any platform, there's always stuff which will outrage you. In some cases, it may be blood and gore. It may be, in some cases, it may be obscenity in language. But the internet is awash with this. We are living in an age which is heading towards Web3. You're going to be living in that. You are living in a metaverse. And I think that as we move in time, we need to recognize that social mores and what is acceptable and not acceptable, what is accessible and not accessible is changing dramatically. Today's children are not outraged in the least by this. Meaning society has evolved is my point.
Reena, your take on this, the subjective interpretation, because I do see Vedika's point. It's not her phone. It's available everywhere. Her children will have, because it's just the fact that these pictures are freely accessible is what is hassling her also, I think.
No, obviously, the Vedika ji has a point here, or she has taken up the cudgels. And from what I've understood a little bit of her is, she knows her mind and she's planning to go through with it, or however she perceives it right for herself. But I'm not a defense for Ranveer. And I think what I could have said was, I mean, of course, as how well has Dilip explained it, that in today's world, it is a reality that this is what Ranveer is not the only picture without clothes. Frankly, even at this moment, even with just a single tap, we'll get millions of them. So how are we going to file cases against each one? Why would we do that? Why can't we just simplify our lives and move ourselves away from them, or remove them from our life with the press of a button? That choice is there. And I can't speak for her, but yes, I speak that for myself. But on my part, I had a suggestion to make to Vedika, because now that she has the attention of the whole world, and there are two simple topics. One is Ranveer Singh nudity, two, her case against him. Why don't they combine forces? She has a wonderful NGO and they do some great good out of it. And it'll make me very happy to know that some outcome which was very productive, other than just, trying to cover him up or give him a like some
Meena ji,
NGO in
this is
Madhya
one of
Pradesh
the-
has
this
given
is
him
one of the
shorts.
thing. This is one of the thing that
I would think you should do that, like
I'm doing
Vedika-
it. I'm doing
yeah,
it.
because talk to Ranveer and say, let's just bury this hatchet and let's go ahead and make some sense out of all this. Something which makes, which gives good to others. Maybe he can help out. And as we spoke on a Hindi channel yesterday and we went on Gandagi, I really think maybe he can, you and your NGO and all can make something about cleanliness and a drive towards it and something substantial, because the boy has great reach. And perhaps after this controversial picture, he's got an even greater reach. It's not going to stop his fans from loving him. It will not stop them from wanting more of his thing. As we discussed that day, from our perspective, from our point of view, it is art. It's picture shot in a studio for a magazine. They have on their own decided to take it in the buff, as we call it, and he's good with it. But you're not good with it. So how we can make it a bit productive is what I thought. Is that it's a very, I don't think it's a big. I mean, for us, it's okay. For you, it's not okay. So what do we do? You got these two guys. Maybe you should work out together or for something which is more productive and more good. And then it would be very interesting to follow that. And it shouldn't stop there.
Vedika, you want to come in?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, रीना जी, अगर आपको ये लगता है कि जो मैं अगर अपने राइट्स के लिए इफ आई एम स्टैंडिंग दैट इज रॉन्ग, या उनकी फोटो देख के अगर मुझे लगता है कि आउटरेज हुआ है, मतलब मैं उससे अशेम्ड हुई हूँ, दैट इज माय चॉइस. ये आपकी एजुकेशन है, ये आपकी शिक्षा है कि जो आप मेरे घर में we don't see porn on television. There are many homes who must be watching porn on their television, but this is their sanskar, this is their thing. I am not bothered about anyone. I am just bothered about myself. I have not liked his pictures. I have gone to the police station, and that too alone, that Vedika Chaube only, and I have made my complaint and case was registered.
No, I think you have definitely right to do whatever you want. But all I'm saying is going forward.
Reena ji, you told me that to do some other better work. So this is one of that work. This is one of that work. This is the cleanliness. That there should be some foundation, some restriction. He's having crores of followers. Most of the youths love Ranveer Singh. Even I am one of the biggest fan. But after seeing, that's the reason I followed him. But after seeing his such movements, such acts, I was ashamed. I felt very bad.
Gender neutral, Dilip, do men and women in public life have a bigger, Vasif, I'll come to you also, do they have a more responsibility than, these are awkward pictures which you will not like to see.
Being a star, he shouldn't be sending such pictures publicly. What other men, what other youngsters, what will they do? They'll go nude, they'll post it on internet, they'll earn money. This is what you are teaching. This is what education you are giving to your star fan and followers.
I get your point. There is a fear that
I think that Vedika is, it's worth considering that bus has already left. This is not something that you're going to roll back into society. Unfortunately, that is the simple fact. We are today living in a world of very high exposure, and therefore people are immune to this kind of thing. As Reena said, and Vasif has talked about a particular provision, but as Reena said, the fact is that even this case has given Ranveer a much bigger bump in terms of his viewership and the idolizing of the ideal shape. So, what we have done is
the right kind of image that he is setting. That's my point.
I think that your question about whether the role models have a right to increase the levels of morality, my answer to that is not necessarily, because there is no reason to say that, for example, the great models and artists of the past have done something to outrage us. If you see Venus rising from the foam, which is one of the most well-recognized pieces of Renaissance art, it has only raised the level of art forms. So I don't think that this is a task. I agree to the point that of doing good to society. That's different. But changing the taste of society, celebrities like this ride the current taste of society and exacerbate it. You might say that direction, but I think that is probably an attempt to turn us back into a Victorian era.
Reena, the role of celebrities, the responsibility of celebrities. Do you agree with Dilip or with Vedika? And me, I'm with Vedika on this one.
See, I think what Dilip is trying to say is that the fact is that this is a reality, that this has given him a push. And to think that we can go try and turn the youth back into an image, it will only make them go more towards what Vedika is opposed to. But yes, as a woman and somebody who has now been with Vedika on 2 chat shows, I'm fine with her rage. I'm fine with her anger. I'm fine she wants to do this. It's good for her. She's made a decision. She wants to go ahead. But all I'm trying to say is this in the end is not going to be getting us anywhere. What will it get you? You're pissed off and then he'll counter quote it and whatever else, and press will keep on keeping the interest up till it burns out.
Short
Why don't we get something productive out of it? Because you've got Ranveer in your hands here.
Okay. Vasif, your take, and I'll give Vedika a quick class.
Yeah. See, if you want to bring some checks and balances in this, then we cannot do it by expecting some higher moral behavior by certain set of people like celebrities, that they should display that, because there is no legal bounding to it. So people don't do that. They will display some higher moral standard. So to control this, there is only legal way to do it. You have to define it. What is obscene, what is not obscene. But both for men and women, this My Body, My Choice brigade should then come and put some barricade to their thoughts as well. See, it will come and hit their thought process. So it should be both for men and women, and My Body, My Choice. That Deepika, Ranveer's wife, Deepika, she made a video on My Body, My Choice. Okay. And she even talked about extramarital affairs to be done by a woman as a liberation for a woman. Okay. So see, it will open a lot of things when you get into this. So let's stick to this about legal thing only, that if you want to define, let's define obscenity. What is obscenity both for men and women? Okay.
Vedika, last word before we close.
I just wanted to say he is a Bollywood celebrity. He is superstar, and we consider him as superstar, our hero. He is hero for us. When we saw him in Bajirao, Padmavat, we felt like इससे अच्छा तो कुछ हो नहीं सकता है. तो आप उस सुपरस्टार, उस हीरोगिरी को रखने के लिए आप नीरज चोपड़ा, वेदांत माधवन, मेरा नेफ्यू है, ही इज नेशनल स्विमर ऋषभ चौबे, आप उनकी तरह आप मेहनत करिए. आप नंगे होके फोटो खिंचवा के आप पब्लिक में आप ये देखिए, ये कौन सा आप क्या ज्ञान दे रहे हैं, आप क्या दिखा रहे हैं सोसाइटी में कि ये आप हीरो हैं. मतलब मैं, अगर रणवीर सिंह ने आज किया है, मैं आपको गारंटी देती हूँ आने वाले समय में ऐसे बहुत सारे नंगे बच्चे आपको दिखाई देंगे. ये होने वाला है.
That is a fear. I must confess, is a worry that we'll see too many Me Too spin-offs happening. If you have to be a celebrity and a role model, then set some examples that could.
And agar hum nahi usko stop,
but we seem to be in a minority. I think the other panelists. But I'm totally out, so I'm going to end the show now. Thank you all of you. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you very much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.